In the depths of the unknown, where shadows whisper and fear takes form, welcome to Classic Storytime Hub, the place where classic horror and mystery come alive. Tonight I bring you a reimagined version of the Cats of Ulthar by H.P. Lovecraft, retold with a suspenseful narrative style that grips the soul and breathes new life into this haunting tale. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss a journey into the shadows. They whisper of Ulthar, a town beyond the river sky, where no man dares harm a cat. And as I watch the creature purring by the fire, I understand why. The cat is no ordinary beast. He is a shadow of forgotten kingdoms, a silent heir to secrets buried in the sands of Egypt and the jungles of Africa. The Sphinx may be his cousin, but he is older still. Older and wiser, remembering truths she has long since lost. Yet Ulthar was not always so. Before the law was written, there lived on the edge of town an old couple, twisted in face and darker still in heart. They took pleasure in luring the villagers' cats into their crumbling hovel, and none ever returned. At night, strange sounds drifted from beneath the oaks that hid their home. Sounds that made the villagers shiver, but never speak. For though the people of Ulthar hated the pair, they feared them more. And so they kept their distance, praying their beloved pets would not wander too close to that shadowed yard. When a cat went missing, its owner would grieve in silence, whispering thanks to fate that it was not a child who had vanished into the dark. For the people of Ulthar were simple folk, and they did not know from what strange place the first cats had come, only that they were never to be trifled with.
One day, a caravan rolled into Ulthar. Strangers from the south, darker and more mysterious than the wandering folk who usually pass through twice a year. They filled the narrow, cobbled streets with whispers and color. In the marketplace they read fortunes for silver, traded bright beads for coin, and spoke prayers no villager dared to echo. Their wagons were painted with strange figures, bodies of men crowned with the heads of cats, hawks, rams, and lions. At their head walked a leader crowned with a horned headdress, a shining disk glimmering between the horns. Among them was a boy, alone in the world save for a small black kitten that clung to him like a fragment of hope. The plague had stolen everything else, but left him this one living comfort. And so the boy, Means they called him, smiled through his sorrow, laughing at the kitten's playful leaps as he sat on the steps of a painted wagon. But on the third morning, the laughter was gone. The kitten had vanished. Means wept in the marketplace, and the villagers, uneasy, told him of the old couple who lived beneath the oaks, and of the sounds that haunted the night. The boy's tears dried, his grief turned to silence, then to something deeper. He lifted his arms toward the blazing sun and began to pray. Not in the tongue of Ulthar, but in words older, stranger, impossible to understand. And as his voice rose, the villagers looked upward. The sky itself seemed to shift. Clouds twisted into shapes that should not be. Phantoms of beasts with human forms, crowned with discs and horns. Shadows of things not meant for mortal eyes.
That night, the wanderers slipped away from Ulthar, their painted wagons vanishing into the dark horizon. They were never seen again. But when dawn crept over the rooftops, the villagers discovered something far more unsettling. Not a single cat remained in Ulthar. From every hearth, every alley, every rooftop, the familiar shapes were gone.
Black, gray, striped, yellow, white, all vanished, as if the town itself had been emptied of its soul. Old Crannon, the burgomaster, spat curses at the caravan, swearing the dark folk had stolen the cats in vengeance for the boy's loss. But Nith, the gaunt notary, whispered another suspicion: the old couple beneath the oaks. Their hatred of cats was no secret, and their cruelty had grown bolder with each passing season. Still, no one dared confront them, not even when little Attal, the innkeeper's son, swore he had seen at twilight all the cats of Ulthar gathered in that cursed yard. 2 by 2, they circled the cottage in solemn silence, as though performing some ancient rite of beasts. The villagers dismissed the boy's tale, yet unease gnawed at them. That night, Ulthar slept in anger and fear. And when the sun rose again, behold, every cat had returned. Sleek, fat, and purring with strange contentment, they lounged by the fire as though nothing had happened. The people marveled, whispering theories. Crannon still blamed the wanderers, for no cat had ever returned alive from the cottage of the old man and his wife. But one thing all agreed upon: the cats would not touch food or milk. For 2 days they lay in the sun, heavy with secrets, their eyes gleaming with something the villagers dared not name.
A week passed before the villagers noticed the silence. No lights flickered in the windows of the cottage beneath the trees. No one had seen the old man or his wife since the night the cats vanished. Another week dragged by before the burgomaster, trembling with duty, gathered his courage. He did not go alone. With him came Shang the blacksmith and Thul the stone-cutter, their heavy hands ready for whatever lay inside. They broke down the frail wooden door. What they found was not life, but death. 2 human skeletons lay clean upon the earthen floor, as if stripped by unseen teeth. In the corners, strange beetles crawled in the shadows, their shells glinting in the dim light. The town erupted in whispers. The coroner argued with the notary. The burgomaster and his companions were hounded with questions. Even little Attal, the innkeeper's son, was pressed for answers, rewarded with sweets for his tale of cats circling the cottage at dusk. They spoke of the old couple. They spoke of the caravan of wanderers. They spoke of Menace, the orphan boy, and his black kitten. They spoke of the prayer and the sky that twisted above it. And they spoke of the cats, of what they had done on that night when the caravan left, and of what was found in the cottage beneath the oaks. And so, from that day forward, the burgesses of Ulthar decreed a law carried by traders to Hatheg and whispered by travellers in Nir, a law that endures to this very hour. In Ulthar, no man may kill a cat.
And thus the story ended. If you liked this journey into the worlds of classic literature, do not forget to support us by subscribing so we can tell you more. And hey, if there is a classic tale you'd love to hear told in this suspenseful style, drop its name in the comments below. Your suggestion might be our next chilling adventure.